Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Press Pause with Jouhayna. On today's episode, I have Olivier Zoppi. He is a dog and human coach, and he's taught me how to be a better dog mom or a parent, P-A-W, to my 3 dogs. And he shared a lot of information last week about how to be a dog owner and take good care of your animals, as well as wonderful tips from his wonderful grandfather who has a lot of knowledge. So tune into that episode and you can continue on here. Today we're playing a game of a Jenga with a twist, Burj Banter as I like to call it. Each block has a handwritten question on it. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay.
I was born ready.
You were born ready. So you go first.
Okay.
Since you're the guest.
Let's make this easier. Let's do a nice base here. Okay. So, what role does curiosity play in your life, and how do you satisfy your internal curiosity?
So I'm a very naturally curious person. I love to learn and not stop learning. That's actually why I started the podcast. I was like, I want to learn from the school of life, you know, and learn from different people who I find interesting. And I've been lucky to actually have people message me to come on the show who have random specialities and random walks of life that they've lived. So that's how yeah, exactly. You showed up the other day and I was so happy to see you. And I was like, do you want to come on my show? You have so much knowledge. And you're like, yes. So, you know, so I am very curious to a point where I started the podcast out of curiosity to learn about other things from other people. You know, not just what they're doing as a speciality, but how they got to where they are today and what they're doing for their future.
That's nice. I actually had the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's why I started the show. But in terms of like day-to-day curiosity, if I find something out, like I've Alexa'd my whole house, so I'll always ask her, like if there's something that comes up and I don't know what it is, I'll ask her, I'm like, Alexa, what does this mean? And then she'll give me the answer, or she'll say, I don't know that one. And then I'll just Google it.
Okay.
So I like to find out things immediately in order for me to satisfy that curiosity about everything. And I like learning random facts. So I have this app that I listen to called Blinkist. So before I become curious, I learn things to become more curious about random topics.
Okay.
So it's like books condensed into 15 to 30 minutes. So, you know, while I'm getting ready or while I'm driving, I listen to it and I learn something new every day. And then I'm like, if this is what they're talking about, what else can I learn about that? And I like deep dive into it. So I have a lot of random facts that I know.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So for me, I am a very curious person, but if a subject must be something that interests me. For example, some people come with war discussions and I'm not into war. I'm not very curious about things, but I'm very curious. My wife introduced me Audible recently.
Ooh, I love that app.
Yes. So I drive a lot. Every time I go to a client's house, it's 30 minutes drive to come back. I'm a curious person by nature, but if the subject must have some kind of interest, if something that I don't really care at all, I just don't do. But if it's something, I go Google it, I get books from it, I just go crazy.
Yeah, I love that. I think it's really important to continue to be curious because, you know, from a very young age, we're just given a lot of answers and structured knowledge.
Yes.
But I think it's important to seek knowledge in areas that most people don't even seek them. So open a book.
And you know, at some point, all this random knowledge that we are getting, it will be adjusted to your lifestyle and routines. You can sometimes, my curiosity about ACs, the other day there was a problem, said, no guys, I've checked on YouTube. And actually, I fixed the AC problem in the company. Now we have an AC guy that works for us.
Okay.
But back, no, this is very easy. You just wash it and you just do this and you just do that. Just because I was curious about the AC.
Exactly.
And it's just curiosity is very fun.
Yeah, I like learning new things, and then when I figure it out, and if somebody else doesn't know about it, I call it a Joe hacks. But not in a know-it-all kind of way. So yeah. Okay, so now you can just put the block back on top.
Yeah, it's on the top. I thought we were going to take but if you don't put it, it doesn't fall.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it.
It can still fall if we keep taking from it, I guess. Okay, let's see. Can I eyeball one? Oh, here we go.
You cannot touch it. I was going to help you.
Oh, yeah. How do you approach and navigate disagreements or conflicts in relationships?
Oh, that's a good one.
I have a lot of good questions because I'm a curious girl.
Wow, that was a good one. I'm a very calm person.
Okay.
if my wife is unhappy and I feel that she is a little bit more wiped up, and I said, I don't want to talk now. Please allow us, sometimes even say allow us to sleep over it. But she's German, she wants it now. But we manage pretty well. I'm a very calm person. I don't respond when people are in heat.
Yes.
I don't respond when I'm in heat. I always, even at the company, I have a new supervisor, and she's hard worker and she's passionate. And I said, sometimes you just need to come here, look, sit here. Now let's revise this, okay? And this is how I handle this. I'm super calm, because if you go with the flow, sometimes things get out of control.
Yeah, exactly. I'm actually quite similar, but I seem calm on the outside, but on the inside, I'm like on the inside. Ooh, it depends. So but I do like to take the time. So I've learned the hard way that fighting fire with fire isn't good.
Yeah.
You know, take a moment to calm down, take a moment for the other party to calm down, and reflect on it. Like, I pray, I'll meditate on it, and, you know, I'll even ask Allah for guidance. I'm like, how do I handle this? You know?
Really? That's
yeah,
nice.
really. Like, I really take the time to reflect. And, you know, especially if it's a relationship that's close to me, I wouldn't want to involve other people in it, because I need to figure that out for myself. And I don't want to involve anybody else in the drama, you know? So I'll take the time to reflect. And then once we've calmed down, we can come back. And one of the things I've learned from listening to a lot of podcasts is start with a compliment and what you love and like about that person, and then go like, well, these are the things that bothered me afterwards. And just to remind them that you do love and care and respect them,
Of course.
before getting into it. So that's how I handle that conflict.
Amazing.
And it's also a good way to remind yourself why you love them, and you're going to work through this conflict,
Yes, of course.
you know?
But,
Yeah.
I choose it. Right?
Exactly.
We choose it. So there's no escaping from that. So now you assume it and just make it work. These days, it's so easy just to let go and get your mind into something else. People forget that we have to fight for our stuff, right?
Exactly. I definitely am a person who will fight in that way. You know,
Yeah.
you have to, because you've made a commitment to yourselves. You made a commitment in front of God. And even if you're not religious, like, keep your word, you know?
Of course.
So, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
My turn. So you choose one. I touched.
Oh, yeah, no, I also touch usually, but that was just, I eyeballed it, right?
Good. Are you a forgiving person?
No. Unless I married you or adopted you or you birthed me
Okay.
or we, you know, shared the same womb. No.
In my case, I might be the most forgiving person in the
Really?
world. They can
Okay.
do me once, they can do me twice. And if they ask for forgiveness, I will give it again.
That's so nice of you.
I will definitely do that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I'm so good with dogs.
Maybe that's why. I mean, I don't know, but dogs listen. Like, you know, if they mess up and you put them in their place, they're like, oh, I'm not doing that again. And they don't.
Yeah.
Usually.
Kind of, but you need to be patient with them, because they're gonna fail over and over and over again until
Yeah.
you reach a point that they're good. So
true.
maybe that's why I'm actually a good dog trainer, because I have the patience, I have the understanding. So for me, as someone, I'm becoming less forgiving with the age.
Okay. And also, maybe now that you're an entrepreneur as well, I feel like if you're...
I think so. I'm
You're gonna have to
learning.
be more
I'm learning
comfortable.
how to be a little bit less forgiving, and but that's business. That's not personal. Even now, I had to do some changes in the company, and I said, "Look, we have to let you go. It's nothing personal. The business is growing. We need something different. I will take over." So in this case, we need to let go. So it's nothing personal. It's not about not forgiving. It's just that we need to be a little bit more. And I think this comes also with the personal side being changed. But I can feel it, of course.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
God, your time. It's a lovely game.
Yeah.
Yes.
I came up with this while I was taking a nap, but also getting a massage. And that's when my brain shuts off and I get great ideas. So that's where I came up with this.
Okay.
How do you approach decision making, especially with a difficult choice to make?
I am a person that it's super, super logic. If it's logic, even if I'm not going to make anything out of it, and I guess I got this from my grandfather.
Okay.
Even if it's not the best option for me, it's the best option.
Yes. I feel that's very well put.
Yeah, I think it doesn't matter. I think that's character. I think it's about character. It's able to decide to do something even if it doesn't fit your needs. And I always carry this with me. And sometimes I lose it. Oh yeah. Sometimes I do something that I shouldn't be doing, but I do it because I feel this is the right thing. So I'm very logic for me, and my wife hates it. She's very, very intense, but this doesn't work. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So yes.
For me, it's I have to make a lot of big decisions every day as an air traffic controller.
For sure.
Everything I say matters, especially in the room of air traffic control and in life technically, because you should choose your words. But that has forced me to bring in really quick and effective decision making into my day-to-day life. So, at work, for example, you see a conflict in the sky, and you're like, all right, I have to act on this plan.
What should I do?
And immediately, in a matter of seconds now, because it's been over a decade of experience, I'm like, okay, I have plan A, B, C. If this doesn't work, I'm going to do this. If this doesn't work, I'm going to do this.
Yes.
And I've applied that into my real life as well. So, I just approach it with, okay, do I have all the information I require to make this decision? And if I lack knowledge in a certain aspect, so for example, I'm like...
You go search.
Yeah, I go search. So whether it's in my network of, Oliver, I want another dog, but I'm not sure, to, anything else in life, I will consult the people that I know have the knowledge to support me. And then I will resort to, the internet and just see what information is there and gain as much knowledge as possible. But when I do make that difficult choice, I will stick to it.
Yeah, of course.
I
funny.
Stick to my word in that sense.
It's funny you said about the option 1, 2, 3, 4, and this you asked me which game, and I said chess. I love chess. Why? Because you need to think ahead.
Yes.
You need to be able to, in this and this, if this happens. So at the end, I loved playing chess when I was a kid.
Okay.
So I'm a very good chess player, and I guess that also gives me this chess mentality of, if this doesn't work, what should I do?
Yeah.
If this works, what should I do? So that's why I kind of have it all in a goal-driven kind of thing that also comes from probably when I was a kid.
Yeah, exactly. Because, I sit there and this is when I go silent, my husband gets scared because he's like, what are you planning? I'm like,
what's going on?
I'm just problem solving inside, and that's
But I think that all wives, when they get quiet, something is wrong.
Oh, yeah. Especially me. It's like, you met me. I make more noise than my dogs. So,
Your dogs are super nice, and you also super nice.
Aw, thank you. But yeah, so I think that this is what it is. I really do take the time to reflect. And if I do have to make a certain decision, it's really a calculated one. I'm not impulsive in that sense.
I think it's awesome. Just found one here that it's movie. Don't break the Jenga yet. Still on the two ones coming out.
Oh, nice. There's also one I saw get loose now as well.
You're lucky. What would you do if you won the lottery?
Everyone gets a house, and every dog gets a dog house.
Every dog gets a dog house. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, but that would be like the biggest thing. I would just buy everyone that I care about a house, and also just clear everyone's debt that I like. That's
great. So first thing that I would do, I would get all my people that work with me. I would definitely get a big apartment or a big place so they can all share the house. Everybody has beautiful living conditions. I continue doing exactly what I'm doing because I really love what I do. So it wouldn't change anything for me with or without the lottery. Thank God I'm able to pay all my bills. I would definitely give super conditions to my people and make sure that the people are super happy working with me, and that 100% I will do immediately. Of course, probably I would bring my mom, my brother, all my family. Everybody lives in a big house.
Oh, I would. That's so awesome.
That's it. 100% I would do that.
Yeah, I love that. And, going on the point of keeping your employees happy, like if they're happy, the work is done better. It's a beautiful domino.
They are happy. They're doing their job happily. Dogs are happy. Everybody's happy.
Yeah.
So I think it just for me, it's a no-brainer. I'll take all my people. I will put them all in beautiful living conditions, because sometimes it's hard to get good accommodation for especially people that don't get a good salary.
Yeah.
And
True.
I would 100% increase all my people to a level that they are comfortable.
Yeah.
Very comfortable.
Exactly, because especially now the rent is crazy.
Exactly, and I actually bring 2 new people from Europe, one head of training and one head of IT, and we had to rent a house, and I just went to the price, and I'm shocked.
Yeah.
And now I'm wondering that my staff that doesn't make as much money, how are they? So they are either sharing accommodation, they have a living quarters or something, and I feel that this would definitely something. I will do it.
Yeah.
Right now we're still a small business, but when I have the conditions, 100%.
Oh, I hope you win the lottery, because I love how you're going to share everything.
Yes.
What song signifies your life at the moment? Feel free to sing. Smiley face.
So the first thing that comes to my mind is, I hope you buy me flowers.
Oh, okay.
Because my wife looks at me and she says, I hope you buy me flowers. Because I'm not a flower giver.
Oh, okay. I had to train Andy to do that.
Yes, I'm not a flower giver. I think they're so pretty. If she wants 50,000 plants, I will give them all the plants in the world.
Okay.
But cutting a rose to put it in a jar for a few weeks, it's against me.
Oh, I feel you. That's why I give people plants now more than a bouquet of flowers.
If you go to my place, you're going to see a beautiful jungle.
Yeah.
Full of trees and things and a huge 𝐬𝐫𝐫𝐫. But I think I'm not into the rose thing. And then this comes, hope you buy me flowers.
Get her that like forever rose, just doesn't die in a jar.
I get her to do good stuff, to nice stuff. We have a rule that we go on date nights every week. And every X amount of time we do something. We celebrate every month.
Oh, I love that.
And we count every month as a year, because since day one we are together. So it's intense. So it's good.
I love that. I love the love you have. Like,
yeah, it's good.
It's I wasn't really a romantic person before, and then I met Andy. I was like, "Ooh, what are all these feelings?" I'm like, the cheesier the better. So
That's nice.
So it's just, I love listening to people's love stories and how they met and like the beautiful bonds that people have. So thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
For me, the song that signifies my life at the moment would be Elastic Heart by Sia, because I feel like I have to have an elastic heart to do everything that I'm doing. Like, I really have to emotionally compartmentalize when I go to work. I've got students, I got my life coaching certification, because the students I work with are young Emiratis mostly. And, they're 19, between the ages of 19 to 25, and they've gone from either high school or university to controlling aircraft and having this huge responsibility on their shoulders. And for them to emotionally compartmentalize can be tough, So I got the education I need to guide them better, but I have to emotionally compartmentalize myself to not get too involved. So I feel like I have to have an elastic heart to do a job like that, because I need to show up and be, I have to be cutthroat and very dominant and very assertive,
That's interesting.
Because the pilots, they have to listen to me, like, do as you're told, respectfully. And, I have to show up. And if you don't sound sure, a little sure, they're going to step all over you on the frequency, because it's really busy. We have nearly 3,000 aircraft in the sky at the moment. So I'm a big softie on the inside, but when I show up to work, I have to channel that, like,
of course,
big girl energy,
Of course.
So, so I feel like I have to have an elastic heart, because
you need to be soft and you need to be.
Yeah, exactly. So, the people at work that know me, they're like, oh, you're so like hard, with everything that you do. And then Andy, he always says, I just love how soft you are. And I'm like, you have no idea, how I have to shift. So I feel like I have like an elastic heart in that.
I think actually we are all like this, right? So we need to adjust and stretch and compress when we need to do it.
Yeah.
I think it's a very good choice. I can't have a song. I just came to my mind a flower situation, but I don't have a song.
And it's also a song that I have switched on since I was training, like when the song released and stuff, like years and years ago. And I remember I would like be walking to the college because when we were studying in the UK, I would do like the walk to the college instead if it wasn't raining. And it would come on repeat. And I was like, I do have an elastic heart, you know?
Okay.
So that has just been something that has stuck with me because it's a song I play at least every shift I have. So I've played it millions of times.
I think the biggest difference, I listen to the songs, but I don't really care what they're saying. I love the melodies.
Yeah.
So I don't really catch the...
I'm a very musical, melodical person as well. So,
it's funny because I can sing a song, but I don't even realize what is they're talking about. And now I'm trying to realize some song that I really love the letter, the lyrics.
Yeah.
But I can sing you a song, but I don't know what they're actually talking about.
Yeah, I mean...
It's so strange. Maybe I'm a strange person.
No, I feel like a lot of people are very similar in that sense. For me, after listening to the song thousands to millions of times, I was like, oh, this is what it means. You know, so that's the case. And, but yeah, I remember, like, for example, when Jouhayna came out, Jouhayna, that's all everyone would sing to me.
Okay.
I'm like, it's Jouhayna, Jouhayna. So,
nice.
Yeah, so I feel like I love music because I feel like it just adds to a certain vibe.
So if I had to rethink, at some point in my life, not today, John Mayer's with Gravity.
Oh, okay.
It's basically gravity is working against me, and it is. And at some point of my life, I would definitely think that this is the song that's literally pushing me now.
Yeah.
But yeah, we all work against gravity, and that's life, I guess.
Yeah, that's so true.
This one is so easy. If it's my turn, it's already here. Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Can you recall a moment when you felt completely in tune with your intuition?
So recently I've had, like, it's event season now, you know, so I do public speaking on the side professionally, MC, moderating, keynotes, workshops, you know, interactive workshops as well. So I've had, this weekend specifically, I've had a lot of demand for gigs and I'm working my shifts anyway. So unless the contract comes through where they're willing to pay a certain price, I'm not going to entertain it. And most people don't want to pay anything to involve a public speaker. Yeah. And, you know, if they were to, in air quotes, import somebody in, they have no hesitation to include people in the show and make sure that they're paying them. But then when you want to have an Emirati host do your show, they aren't willing to pay. So I've set my price and I'm just like, this is what I'm going to go with. Sometimes it's quite difficult because, you know, I'll speak to my agent and I'm like, hey, you know, how's it going? And he's like, well, they're not willing to pay and they just want you to work for free. I'm like, I have to stand my own ground and say, no, I value myself. I'm not going to show up and swap a shift to do all this free work for what, you know? So there was recently somebody who just kept like messing me around. So they're not responding and everything. So I was like, no, please speak to my agent. You're not that responsive anyway. And plus, I've only agreed to even entertain the idea because it's a favor to an acquaintance and, you know, a borderline friend. And then they were just messing me around and whatever. And I told that my agent from the beginning, before I even gave the number, I'm like, hey, I don't feel like this is going to be serious, but it's a really big company. So let's see. Who knows? If they agree, great. And I was right. They just were faffing me about. They weren't willing to do any payments, but you want to use an Emirati face to represent your show and show that you have an Emirati involved in the opening ceremonies. So, you know, I was right about that. And I'm proud of myself for sticking my ground and saying, no, I value myself. I'm not showing up unless you are willing to do this.
Yes, of course.
You know, because the MC after that they're paying. So why aren't you paying me for my 1 hour? Yes, it's only an hour, but I have to take time out of my day to do it.
Exactly. So time is money, right?
Exactly. And all of this and this abaya doesn't just happen. Okay. It's pre-planned.
Of course. So, and it's definitely not cheap as well.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I have a certain taste, especially in the way that I dress myself and everything I do is like tailor-made. So no.
But that's fair.
Yeah, so I was right about that. And then there was another event the same day as well. They're like, oh no, we want you now. It was really urgent. I was like, doesn't feel right. Like, it felt very frazzled. And as the MC, if I mess up, it looks bad on me and they think I messed up. It's not that somebody fed me the wrong information. So I was like, thank you, no thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Good luck, guys.
Yeah, it's true.
So, yeah.
So from my side, I have to think about pretty well. I'm usually very good with people. So I'm usually very good at seeing if the person is it's talking something serious or not.
Yeah.
So it happened to me quite often that people ask me for partnerships, they ask me for stuff, and I kind of look at them and they said, okay, we can try to do something.
Yeah.
And it usually doesn't go through. But I'm not having any details at this point. I don't think I can find anything. But it happens a lot with me in my life that I met someone and I said, I don't like this guy. And a week after or 2 weeks after, I just said, okay, done. I knew it and I'm just not. But I also keep it for myself. So it happens quite a lot. I'm very good at judging people by their how they smile, how they face you, how they respond. So I think most of the times I'm right. Almost.
Yeah, that's good. I believe it's important to listen to your gut and just believe yourself.
Yeah, definitely. And then many times I have it now, and we're growing, right? We have interviewed with so many people. First thing that came to my mind said, the interview started 2 seconds ago and I'm already saying, no, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
It happens so often.
Wow. Yeah, and when you know, so on to the next.
And it's most of the time is correct.
Yeah? Yeah. I think should continue to
now it's your turn.
Okay. Let's see. I thought I saw one get loose here. Oh, here we go.
Oh, you got an easy one.
Describe a situation where you had to let go of control and embrace the unknown.
So a situation that I have to get out of, praise the unknown. I have a few.
Yeah?
I have a few. Hello, 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐜𝐫𝐤, how are you doing? We'd like you to join our company in Dubai.
Oh, yeah.
And I look at this. Oh my God. Okay. When do you want me to go? I said, tomorrow. Can you come tomorrow?
It was that quick when you had that call?
She basically said we need you as soon as possible.
Wow.
And I guess we met in August 24 or 25th. On September 15, I was here, something like that.
Wow, that's wild.
And that was bracing the unknown. And it was funny because the whole process was pretty easy, right? So I said, Mom, I'm going to work in an Arabic country. And she said, okay. I sure said, yeah, it's fine. Nothing to worry about. And then I moved to Dubai. When the ticket plane came, I said, Mom? And she said, now it's real. And I said, yes. But it didn't hit. But when I said bye, I started crying, of course.
Of course, yeah.
And then I came to Dubai. I opened the airport, opened the doors and said, oh my God, the heat. September, humid. Right, so, but everything went pretty well. But then when the person from the company closed the door and said, I sat on the bed and I said, okay, now you're alone in a country, you have no friends, you have nothing, you have to be successful, and this is the facing the unknown was this 100%.
Wow, yeah, I had to let go of control and control everything at the same time, So like I was 19 when I moved to Abu Dhabi to be an air traffic controller because I grew up in 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐽. I'm from Ras Al Khaimah actually, but I was raised in 𝐬𝐻𝐽. And then I'm the eldest child, I had to let go of what I know, which is, living with my family, taking care of everyone, being the eldest girl. I was just everyone's little mother, My mom was the mom and then I was mini mom. And I had to let go of everything that I knew and show up for myself and the rest of my family because I realized my mom was getting a little tired. She had us when she was a bit older and I was like, Ma, you're getting a bit tired. The entrepreneurship, like she was burning the candle at both ends. So I had to let go of everything I knew, move to a new emirate. And I know it's in the same country. Like I'm grateful my mom lives, an hour and a half away from me. But still, it was leaving home and it's very unheard of, especially for a young Emirati girl to do that. I moved out and I couldn't rent a place yet because I wasn't of age. I think the age, you had to be like 21 or something. So I was like 19 and like living in like Premier Inn Hotel at the airport to go to work. And I had to let go of everything that I knew, let go of all the control and show up and embrace all the knowledge I was getting. So it was 2.5 years of training in Abu Dhabi, moving to the UK, traveling myself with 5 other gentlemen that were on my batch. And thankfully, we all got on really well. It was tough at the start because I didn't know anyone, didn't know anyone in the Emirate. You know, when people look at me, they'll all just start speaking to me in Arabic, and I struggle to speak Arabic. So they're like, oh, you're not one of us. And then and then when I would speak to the other expat controllers, I'm like, oh, she's really easy to speak to. So it helped that way. And then eventually I found a way to mesh in both worlds, working with the locals and working with the expats. So I had to completely let go of everything that I knew and just learn how to let go of control, but become an air traffic controller.
Okay.
So
I had to let go everything behind, and I had to control my life moving forward. It was such a beautiful change, and me as a person also, I changed a lot. So it's
definitely you would continue to grow that way.
I had to let go. 100%. Okay, so it's my turn.
I just noticed there's nothing on those 2 sides.
Oh. Okay. How do you define happiness, and what brings you joy in your life?
I would define happiness as not having anxiety and just feeling that contentment in myself. You know, I learned the word anxiety and what it feels like recently when I watched this, it's a children's movie called Inside Out 2. And there was this emotion called anxiety, and she sounded like me of, I need to plan ahead, I need to organize everything so I can make sure that everything goes smoothly in the future. And then it escalates and built into anxiety. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's what I feel inside. So I finally had a label for me being perceived as an extremely organized and person who thinks ahead, you know? So then when I realized that this emotion isn't actually really a positive one, it's more me worrying, I told myself, I'm like, okay, I need to just, you know, so my phone gives me a lot of anxiety because the minute I open it, I'm gaining new information from random people and, oh, there's so much going on. So I've learned to put it away and be present with the people around me, my mother, my family members, which, you know, it sounds like such a simple thing to just put your phone, literally, even if it's face down, let alone putting it in a different room. And I've felt a lot more happy by being present. Yeah. And then when I open the phone, the chaos starts again. But I've just learned that that is my new definition of happiness, of just being content and present with the people that I love and I care about, and being intentional with the way that I spend my time.
That's beautiful. I think everybody should have this for in-person time, because we forget that sometimes you have people in a room with 4 people with 4 phones and nobody's there. Everybody is away. So for me, the definition of happiness, I did a lot of things in my life. I can say that I did a lot of things. And definition is happy. It should just live. I don't have this definition, right? It's just living your life. Sometimes we forget to just live and enjoy life like it is. The happiest persons that I know, they didn't have anything. And they wake up, they're happy to be alive. Yeah. And we forget that doing simple things as going to people in Dubai, they don't do this, but for me, and go to a supermarket, I love it. Yeah, brings me joy.
I love the supermarket. I'm like, look at all these new things they brought.
I love it. I like to just go somewhere on vacation, and I either go to the Philippines or I either go to Maldives, and I just go and enjoy the motorcycles on the street, things that I don't see. So just for me, I think definition of happiness is just living your life. I don't think, I know it sounds very cliche, but it's true. Sometimes people forget to enjoy having a coffee with a friend.
Yes, exactly.
So I think that will be my definition of happiness.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason why I called the podcast Press Pause. There's meaning behind the name that I chose, because we are all not even pressing pause or pressing fast forward. Quick, quick, quick. What's next? What's next? What's next? Keep going. And this is a moment to literally press pause and just stop, you know?
Nice.
And, you know, the memory that was what you were mentioning, the memory that came to my mind was we went on our first staycation with the dogs and we took Jojo and Peanut with us. And I remember we were like, oh, we need to take them for their walk before we feed them dinner and everything. And I remember Jojo got tired because he's a Frenchie, so he was tired of walking. So we just stopped and we sat on the grass, like I think it was just before the roundabout, like a patch of grass in the hotel premises. And we just sat there. And that was the highlight of the staycation, of just sitting there, no phones, and just watching the dogs do silly things. Or just, you know?
Me and my wife, we sit on the backyard. We just sit on a chair. She's with her coffee. She's with her tea, me with my coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Just checking the dogs playing around. They have a huge backyard, 450 square meter.
Oh, wow.
Just for the dogs. We spend double the rent just to be sure that the dogs has the space. And we just love to be there. And now, remember when I started working in Dubai, I used to drive an electric scooter.
Okay.
Metro, client's house. You know, I used to have an electric scooter the first 6 months. And every time I just go to Burj Khalifa, I just sit on the fountains. I saw the show 1,000 times. And I was just sitting there from 6 to 8. And then, okay, now I'm not going home. Just sitting there and looking.
Yeah.
And I think people sometimes they have to press pause and just live, just like enjoy.
Exactly. I think so underrated.
Yeah, I think so. But people are always worried about checking stuff. Do this, do that,
And if something nice happens, the importance to, let me capture it. Where's my phone? I need to take a picture.
Yes.
How many times are you actually going to stop to go back and look at that picture? Once you've posted it, really, are you going to go back?
Or you don't even post it.
Yeah, exactly. But on your phone album, when was the last time you were like, I really loved April the 13th. Let me go back and check the pictures I took that day. No, you know? So, yeah, I feel like that's the case. Okay.
God, it's soon underwear.
No. Oh, here we go.
Now, the hard part is now. You're good at this game, what?
My mother is a surgeon with dogs, so I have those hands.
I'm going to lose this game. Okay.
When was the last time you felt an extremely strong emotion and why?
Last time that I felt extremely big emotion. It's hard. I'm not an extreme person. If it's something good, I get happy. But extreme emotion, I cannot say extreme emotion, but I get very happy with small things. The other day, my wife is doing acupuncture. Acupuncture, yes, acupuncture. And she told me that her acupuncture specialist was pregnant.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And said, no, she's pregnant. I just gave her a big hug.
Yeah.
And I think it's not extreme. I'm not an extreme person, but small things make me big reactions. So not extreme. I don't do extreme. If I win the lottery, said, yay.
Yay.
That's me.
Yeah.
If I really did something very, very bad, I said, okay, too bad, life goes on.
Yeah.
You know, I don't get extreme.
Yeah.
I don't do it.
I had, for me, it's just random emotions. And I feel like, so I never cried until I was 26 years old. And I have no recollection of crying before that. So my mom, the story that she would always tell me, and my auntie and my grandmother, they would say, when I felt any emotions as a child, I would just show up and be like, I'm upsetting. I would make it a verb. Or I would just walk up to somebody, and if I'm like experiencing suffering, I'd be like, suffering. And this is like a little mixed kid with big curly hair, just like, I'm upsetting. I'm suffering. And these are like literally how I would express my emotions. And I would feel something inside, but I would like the way that the term I have is I was emotionally constipated. So I just didn't feel. I was like, no, there was a lot of chaos in my childhood, to be honest. So I realized if I don't react, there'll be less of a trigger that comes towards me. So I'm not bothered by that. I'm not bothered by that. And I started to believe that. So I didn't really emote. Nothing really took me by surprise. I was like, don't care. Then I started working with a life coach during COVID. I was like, how can I improve myself? So I hired a life coach. We were working together. And she was like, let's do some hypnosis work and just see, what's going on in that back of the head of yours.
I'm scared that someone does hypnosis of me. They will find a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So we did that. And as you mentioned, we went back in time and, she told me, she's like, okay, let's work towards going through your past. So she's like, you have a corridor and then you can see the age that you are on the door. So it was like, at the time I was 26. So 26, 25, 24, 23. And she's like, see which door you want to open and see where you're vibing with. And I went really young. I think I went to like 7 years old or something. And before opening the door, I was so terrified and I was crying. So this is the first time I was like, my face is wet. I'm like, what is this? What is this? And I have my eyes closed and I was like, my face feels wet. Am I sweating? And she's like, yeah, from your eyes. So she's like, we don't have to open this door. And I think going back in time, mentioning this, that was the first time I felt a really strong emotion because I was 26 and that's the first time I cried that I can remember. And then after that, any emotion I felt. So I didn't know how to feel about anything. So if I felt extreme happiness, I started crying. If I feel sadness, I start crying. If I feel angry, I start crying. If I'm feeling grateful, I started crying. And she's like, okay, now let's label your emotions.
Okay.
Happiness, smile. Excitement, scream, or, whatever you want. So I had to learn how to label my strong emotions because I was an emotionally constipated little girl. So that was my strong emotions only started a couple years ago. And then now I just feel a lot of feelings. And that's why Andy is so grounding, my husband, because I'll feel something and he is so chill. Like you've met him. He's like silent man who's just, you don't even know he's there sometimes. And he's like, it's all right, feel your feelings. And then he'll just like show up and like feed me something. And I'm like, I feel so much better. Similar to what you were doing earlier with the treats.
Yes.
Same principle.
Yes.
So yeah.
It's funny. This hypnosis thing is super interesting, but I don't think it will work with me.
But honestly, I can give you her number. She is great. I'm going to have her on the show.
We can try, but I can tell you I did a ayahuasca.
Okay. Oh, how was that? To tell me.
So, the ayahuasca, basically, they say that you want to go back to your emotions and you're going to get into your past.
Okay.
But the thing is, I didn't see any past. I saw the future. I saw a house with a lot of dogs, which at some point, I just woke up and I moved to a new house. I have a bunch of dogs. I said, oh, I saw the future. Mm-hmm. So I didn't see anything from my past at all.
Okay.
So this was supposed to be a ritual to get you to your emotions and this. Mm-hmm. But I realized that I don't need to go into any ritual because apparently the ritual didn't bring me to my past, bring me to
the future.
So it was super interesting. But anyway,
I love that.
Talk about that later.
I love that.
Now we need to find a peace without losing it because I'm not a very good person to lose.
Oh.
I don't want to lose. Not even playing pennies. Oh.
It's because we rocked the foundation so hard.
That's good. What is a lesson that took you a long time to learn?
I've mentioned this on a few episodes now, but if my mom doesn't like someone, I should listen to her. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mom is always right.
Yeah, like really, because I've had different phases of friendships, seasonal friends. People come and go, and my mom would meet them in it, like similar how you mentioned in the interviews. 2 seconds in, no, my mom is the same. She just has this like human radar.
I'm very good at just ignoring people that I don't like.
Yeah, me too. Actually, this is when I go silent. I just you don't exist. Bye.
Yeah. Well, for me, a lesson that took me a long time to learn is focus in one thing. Mm-hmm. One thing only. Give everything you got. You're gonna be so good at it that nobody can even say this to you.
Very true. I love that. And that's...
Do one thing, focus in one thing. It took me 35 years to learn. Focus on one thing. Do this one thing. Don't think about anything else. And you're going to be so good at it that nobody will be able to point your finger.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't agree more. come to think of it, that's actually advice I give to all my students. So I was heavily underestimated when I started my career. They just saw this, like, imagine me 10 years ago. I was like way happier and bubblier than I already am. And, you have a better chance of becoming an artist because I draw. Like, these are my...
Yeah, they're beautiful. I have two paintings of yours.
Oh, really? Wait,
Yes.
did I give them to you?
This one skull, half flower.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yes.
Ooh.
Oh, they're lovely. They still hanging on my wall.
Oh, I love that you have that. I completely forgot that I even gave that to you.
Gave me two beautiful ones. One's half a skull flower, half a skull normal.
Oh, yay. I love that I did that. So I would draw at work. Like, there were some old flight plans and I'm busy there drawing.
So I always been, I gained some weight, I lose some weight, and now I gain a little bit weight again. And I like to make it fun about it, right? Since you gain some weight, yes, but I'm pretty, you can change that.
Exactly. That's literally what I was.
But I'm pretty, I don't think you can change that.
You can't change ugly.
But people we often laugh about it if they get this, but look at his face.
Exactly. Look. Yeah, like the other day, because I've also been on a weight loss, weight gain, everything journey. So now I'm on my weight loss journey.
Yeah.
And somebody came up to me and she's like, oh, you've lost a lot of weight. And I was like, okay, thanks. I don't know if it's a compliment or not. And then she goes like, but what happened to your face? And I was like, what did happen to my face? She's like, well, you look very tired, very tired. I'm like, these money bags are from air traffic control. Like, literally, I call them my money bags. They're covered right now, but of course. Rude. Or sometimes I just go like, can you say that again? And then when they have to repeat the insult back to you, they're like, oh, actually, I'm like, so what do you mean by that? And then it makes them so uncomfortable. And actually, if you want to make me uncomfortable, I'll come back at you and bite you that way.
It's funny now you're talking about it. Back in the days, being a little bit overweight was wealth and
exactly.
So if someone does this, thank you. So kind of you.
Exactly. I'm rich.
Yeah. You think so?
Yeah, exactly.
So now there was it's me or
I think it's my turn because you.
Oh, you got the easy one. How come?
I don't know. It's I'm just letting it guide me.
Okay, God is your side today.
What is the most spontaneous thing you've done lately?
Oh, yeah. Most lately I said, beautiful wife, I need a break. And I just checked for a few boats and I went for diving alone. Done that. Yeah, just checked the nearest boat that was going to leave. I flew to Egypt and I spent 7 days in a boat without anybody. Not without my wife. Mm-hmm. So without my wife, there was more people diving, but was the latest one,
Yeah, I love that you took a moment to press pause because you needed it.
Yeah. I usually do work 40 to 50 days, sometimes 2 months in a row, no days off. Mm-hmm. Just keep rolling, and I took some time for my wife for our dates and stuff. But sometimes we just need to pause. Last time I've been to Egypt. And from time to time, she goes for yogas, and I'm not into the yoga. Okay. So we have this. So we have kind of a spontaneous thing. And she said, "What do you think about we going on vacation on Philippines?" I said, okay,
let's up and go.
I'm very easygoing, so I'm very spontaneous. Mm-hmm. If a friend says, "Let's just go to Fujairah," again, let's win. Yeah. So regularly, all my decisions are very spontaneous.
Yeah, I agree. I'm quite going with the flow kind of person. So I haven't really done anything that spontaneous lately that I can think of. But if you come to me and you're like, Joe, let's do this, I'm like, yes, I'm down.
Yes. You're a yes person.
Yes, I'm a yes person. Like, let's go do it. Okay. And unless it has to do with like skydiving, don't take me skydiving. But everything else I'm going to do. No, it's too much. I'm not an adrenaline junkie. But if you want to go do something, I will support you the whole way.
So I had a friend that came from Portugal. He said, "Let's do the zip line." I said, "Yeah, Marina." I said, no, the big one in 𝐬𝐫𝐽. Yeah. And I did it. It was super nice. I loved it.
Yeah? Yeah, no, I'm not an adrenaline junkie. I remember, like, my friend came to visit me from the UK, and she was like, oh, I want to do the zip line. I said, girl, you go, and I will wait for you at the bottom.
Very happy.
No problem. And I remember Andy wanted to do the same. I'm like, both of you go experience this adrenaline together. I'm secure.
I'll be there just cheering you up.
Yeah, I'm like, you guys go.
Great. Ta-da! Have you ever had a nickname What is it? What does it mean to you?
Jojo.
Jojo, yeah.
Yeah, so, Jojo, everyone shortens my name because my name is Jouhayna, which for those who don't know, it means the beginning of new things.
Okay, that's nice.
Thank you. My mom was very intentional with choosing my name. So Jo, to abbreviate Jojo, Jouhi, my grandma calls me Jouhi. I have one sister, she calls me Beloved, and she says it like this as well. I've had a lot of nicknames.
Okay. So I never had a lot of nicknames. So my nickname was always been Zoppi.
Zoppi, okay, your last name.
My mama's name. And I literally tattooed my mama's name on my arm. And it will go with the grave with me.
This whole time I thought Zoppi was your last name.
Zoppi is my mama's name. And it's the name that I'm going to keep the rest of my life. My kids, my wife, everybody's going to have my mama's name.
I love that.
I'm not sure how is the law here, but in Brazil, kind of the kid gets the father's name, not my kid.
Okay.
So, yes.
I love that.
Yeah, everybody calls me Zoppi. And usually, they usually call every single girlfriend that I had, my friends back in the day. They always call my girlfriend Zoppi as well.
Oh, okay.
So it's funny because it's been like this. And now my wife is going to call Zoppi as well.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
Okay, so now let's see if it doesn't fall, huh?
Yeah.
I'm going to make this hard on the side. Let's see if I win now.
All right, so shall we
Very excited to win.
play speed Jenga? So we just play Jenga the way it's designed to be played, because we're doing it really slow by reading the questions.
Let's do it.
So we call it speed Jenga.
Let's go speed Jenga now.
Okay, so...
Oh, you very naughty. That was super naughty from you.
a story of my life. Danger.
I can take 2 pieces. Can I take 2 pieces?
Yeah, sure. Wow, that is art. Wow. Okay.
Someone is on a happy place. Oh.
I don't even know how I'm supposed to do this now, because we did not...
I can see one that you can take it, but I'm not going to tell you. I'm not even going to look at it.
Yeah.
Okay, cannot touch it. Otherwise, you say that I made you lose.
It's okay. I'm not a sore loser. I'm not competitive at all. Like, I was competitive as a air traffic control student, and that was it. Other than that, no, don't care about anything. Wait, where am I supposed to put this now?
Anywhere.
Oh, okay.
You have to put it. If it fails.
How did you play?
Because they came 2 pieces. Oh my gosh. Put it on top. Put it on top.
On top here?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
See? It's gonna be disaster. Try this side, because this side is flipping there. Just.
Oh yeah. Thank you for the tip.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Hey.
All right, I don't think it's gonna last very long. Stress.
This Jenga tower, it's...
I got too excited. Okay.
How come?
I don't know.
What happened here?
This is the first time I've stacked it in a very abstract way at the top. Okay.
Just stack it out as you wish. Oh my God. It's the biggest thing I ever seen.
Oh, wait, it's half of it. Does that count? Is the tower falling?
Come, you have to take one go.
Okay.
Or, okay, let's try.
No. It's never happened where, like, just the top fell. Oh, everything fell.
Everything fell.
Oh, thank you.
Oh.
All right, let's see. Oh, this is similar to one of the questions we had of, do you believe in second chances? We had one that's, are you a forgiving person?
Yes, let's try another one.
What do you think people misunderstand about you?
Wow, that's a good question.
I have a lot of great questions.
So, if it was back in the day, I'm a very easygoing person and I deal with everybody. But until I really like you, I keep it to myself. I'm not a super extroverted person, but this was before. And also I at some point I work at night at a nightclub as well, and I didn't talk to everybody because there's so much things to do in a nightclub. And I just misunderstands that how am I as a person. But since I moved to Dubai, I don't know what the misunderstanding is because I'm usually focused on the dogs.
Yeah.
And dogs don't misinterpret anything.
Yeah.
They're always pretty straightforward.
Yeah, true. That's so true.
And you?
For me, I feel you met me in a very different setting. So, like, you met me in my house. And, like, I'm usually, like, in my PJs and hang out with dogs. But, you know, most people who meet me in a more professional setting assume that I'm very stuck up and just, like, nose in the air kind of thing. But actually, no, like, if you come and have a conversation with me, then you're going to realize.
You understand, of course.
Yeah, like, you know, why all my dogs like me.
But you know what? I just said it was the same. People don't misunderstand how am I as a person.
Yeah.
And I think all the human beings, when it comes to understanding other person, we always had this preconceived idea. There was beautiful people that I went to talk to them and I said, poshy girl with a Louis Vuitton bag.
Yeah.
And then she's actually amazing.
Yeah.
Or you see this person fully produced and you think, oh, or you see this person super well dressed, super professional. Then you see, and then he's just telling funny jokes and flipping steaks.
Yeah, that's literally how
That's literally what happens with most people. I guess this is everybody.
Exactly. And there's that preconceived notion of, oh, she's snobby or unreachable, or we can't speak to her.
But you know, I think in our daily lives, we cannot be ourselves to everybody because also, you cannot be the goofy person that flips steaks and tell jokes and drink some beers.
Yeah.
And in your daily environment, you have to do it right, professionally, and the way you're being paid to do so.
Yeah, exactly.
So one of the things I remember, my wife said, oh, when I met you, I didn't really like you. I said, of course you didn't like me. I loved your dog. We talk about your dog, and there was no room for
anything else
because this is my job, and I do it professionally. But now you know me, you know that I'm the goofiest person in the world, and I like to make fun about everything, even me.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do some crazy things, not to say other name. And she said, oh my God. And then she said, it's you, it's only you. So it's yes, we all like this, right? So we don't have a chance.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why people who meet me in a more professional setting or a public speaking setting, like if they've only just seen me on stage, it depends on the topic as well that I'm speaking about. So if it's an air traffic control workshop, everyone is like laughing and joking by the end of it, like, you know. But if it's a more serious keynote, or if I have to talk about a very technical topic that's work related, then yeah, you're going to see a very different side to me. If you have me as an instructor or me as a controller, people who see me as just a controller just think I'm a very angry little girl.
Yeah, because I know I think it has to do. We have to adjust to our realities. Everybody's like this.
Exactly, you know. So, but the general consensus that I've heard, and people have even told me to my face, was, "You're actually nice. Thank you." All right. Thank you for your feedback.
That's good.
Yeah.
You're actually nice.
Yeah. That's a better compliment than, no.
It's happened to me a lot. People say, oh, I like you. I like you now that I know you.
Yeah, exactly.
So of course you didn't like me before because you didn't know me at all.
Precisely.
So I think that's pretty much.
Exactly. But thank you so much for sharing. I hope you enjoyed the game.
I enjoyed it, of course, a lot.
Oh, thank you. And for everybody tuning in, Press Pause family, if you could take a moment to like, subscribe, comment, let Oliver know what you think of all his pearls of wisdom.
My grandfather's pearls of wisdom.
Your grandfather's pearls of wisdom, exactly. So thank you for tuning in, and stay tuned for the next guest next week. Thank you. And then somebody came to me, they're like, oh, you have a better chance of becoming a successful artist than becoming an air traffic controller. Like, you don't have the brains to control planes. Like, I was just constantly being underestimated, told to my face, like, you don't belong here. No. And I didn't appreciate that. It was really rude. And I made the decision that I'm going to know every procedure, every little piece of information, and that's where my curiosity, my curious personality comes into play. I made sure I knew everything perfectly well. So I understand Hindi well. So when I was an assistant ATC, I had an instructor who spoke Urdu, and I also understand that language because it's quite similar to Hindi. So he would come to me and he'd ask me all these questions, and like drill me, and like, such difficult questions. And then I would answer them. Cool. I've answered them. Yes. Then he'll question, are you sure that this is the answer? I'm like, yes. Then he's like, okay, you need to continue working harder. You need to keep pushing. He'll speak to the other guys in Urdu or Hindi and just say, she's actually pretty smart. Like, she knows what she's saying, and it's because she has that confidence. Tell me that to my face. Give me a compliment, So then later on, as I continued to progress in my career, instead of attacking my intellect, they would attack how I looked. They're like, oh, you put on some weight. So I know when people are attacking what I look like, they know they can't hit me because of the intellect that I have. Because you can't come for me for the knowledge that I have.
You know what I say?